Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow speakers, we're all familiar with the phrase climate change and global warming. However, I find the phrase global warming not proactive enough. The Earth is actually dying, not warming, and we need to do something about it. The rate at which the world is actually dying is because of what we have done as humans, and it is our responsibility to halt the rate at which it is dying. We all know that certain vices are bad for our health, but it is not until someone like the doctor tells us that we're dying from something that we will do something about it. By changing our mindset, we will change how we deal with climate change itself. I find visual aids help people see what can actually happen if we don't do something. I don't have the necessary skills to come up with some amazing visual, so what I have done is created this painting. This painting, if you could call it that, will show you what the world looks like today and what the world could look like if we don't stop pollution. Our seas will be full, our trees will die, and our sun will be duller. I'd like you to keep this in mind of the actual difference that we're facing as I speak today. It's not all doom and gloom. The good news is that us humans can do something to halt climate change, and we can do a lot of things that are small little things, or we could do major changes in our lives, like becoming vegan. But I aim to show you a range of these smaller changes that will either add to the pro-environmental activity that you do, or actually kick you off on it. As I just said, a light bulb is one of these simple changes that we could do. By simply switching your household or your business light bulbs to LED lighting, you can save more than you realize. The old-fashioned light bulbs take 74 days to consume the same amount of power as an LED light bulb does in 370 days. That is 300 days more. In addition, turning off your lights will also help. Other small things, just simple things like don't overboil your kettle, just use the amount that you need. Do your washing at night when there's less demand on power stations. Do your washing also at 30 degrees because most detergents are actually able to work with that temperature these days. And if possible, don't use the tumble dryer. One of the things that's also good for you, your legs and your butt, is to use the lift, don't use the lift and actually use the stairs. Now, I understand we live in a place, there's a lot of high rises, and it's not possible for everybody to actually take the stairs. So if possible, at least take them on the way down. It will help reduce your carbon footprint. Taking shorter showers will also save 10 litres of water per minute. So much of the world's water, so little of the world's water actually being drinkable, this is really important. In talking of drinking tap water instead of bottled water will reduce the carbon footprint of a glass of water by 1,000. This difference is mainly created by packaging and transport, but that is too where we actually have an issue. Plastic bottles are among the items creating havoc in our seas. Their use in general needs to be reduced, and our oceans are filling up with plastic and similar debris. Avoid single-use carrier bags. These should be replaced with bags for life or similar bags. Or if you do have to use single-use carrier bags, try to use them more than once. By not using them and using cotton bags for your shopping, you can save 23 kilograms of CO2 a year on average. But it's not just the use of these bags that is an issue, it's actually the making of them too. In creating 1 kilo of plastic, 6 kilos of carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. Globally, plastic bags are such a problem that entire countries have banned them. Bangladesh was the first to do so in 2002. Taiwan, South Africa, and Brazil have followed suit afterwards, so has China. Other countries have levied taxes on these bags, either to the consumer or to the business. It is estimated that there is 6 kilos of plastic in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch for 1 kilo of natural plankton. Plastic is the issue that really can turn our seas into the seas I depict here in my painting. It's actually that bad. Your choice of transport could also reduce your carbon footprint. We all know that cars are pollutants, but sometimes we do have to use them. How you drive makes a difference. Smooth driving, where you keep down the revs, remove all unnecessary baggage, and ensure your tires are inflated correctly, will help. In addition, try to carpool with other people on school runs, work runs, and so on. Both cycling and walking are two negative carbon emission methods to get in from work and out and about. good for your health and the environment. My personal choice of transport is my manual scooter, which is powered by these legs. Well, actually this leg, because I can't actually use that one to do it. An environmentally friendly action that is also good for your health is giving up cigarettes. Tobacco plants consume a lot of nutrients from the ground, and these plantations take up a lot of space. The chemicals used to make tobacco plants grow faster also adds to water pollution and pollution of the land itself. In addition, the paper used to wrap cigarettes is aiding deforestation. And let's not forget the pollution created by cigarette butts that are not disposed of correctly. They often end up in our waters and are eaten by birds, animals, and fish. Another advice a lot of us have, myself included, is alcohol. Granted, some of the impact from alcohol comes from transportation. I myself like a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc that has to be transported here. But the majority of the pollution is created in the actual production of alcohol. Not all alcoholic products have the same impact. Cider is considered to be the most environmentally friendly, with spirits being the most energy intensive to produce. I'm not suggesting people give up the booze, but reducing your intake can reduce your carbon footprint. We also have an issue with electronics. Our electronic goods, such as computers, phones, and game consoles, are all items we cannot do without in this day and age. So we can't ditch them, but how we use them can actually make a difference. One simple way is by turning off all unused appliances, unplug your microwave, put your computer and your TV off, don't put them on standby. Charge your phones, iPads, tablets, etc. until they are full and unplug the charger. Adjust the power consumption of these gadgets so the amount of times that they have to be recharged is also reduced. And finally on this topic, with game consoles, did you realize that they use as much power as a Hoover does to operate? Swap some time on a game console and go outside. Recycling is inevitably every household and business generates waste. How we dispose of this waste makes a difference. Recycling your plastics, your glass, your cans, etc. will help reduce greenhouse gases. For example, the energy used to create a new drinks can is 95% more than to actually reuse a recycled can. This is also in addition to using our Earth's resources to create the product in the first place via mining or quarrying. And we all know about the importance of recycled paper and using recycled paper, but are we doing enough? The food we eat impacts the environment too, with some foods having a bigger impact than others. Meat is the biggest contributor to the damage food does. Roughly 70% of agricultural land is used for livestock, with deforestation occurring to make more room for them and the crops to feed them. 18% of global greenhouse emissions are being caused by livestock farming. This is not taking into account the transportation of livestock or fertilizers being used. Both beef and lamb are the two most energy-intensive meats to produce. One joint of beef takes 85 kilograms of CO2 to produce. In other words, the same amount of CO2 used if you left a non-LED light bulb on for 50 days. One beefsteak emits more CO2 than driving for an hour does. In addition, the amount of water used in the production of beef is greater than that of fruits, vegetables, beans, and nuts. 1 kilogram of beef takes roughly 15,000 liters of water to produce, while the potato only takes 250 liters of water to produce 1 kilogram, and rice to produce 1 kilogram is 3,400. Eating less meat is one of the biggest of all the smallest environmentally friendly things you can do. Finally, my last tip relates to bathroom habits, the toilet in particular. Although salt water is used in Gibraltar, there is still an impact on the environment. Simply by flushing less, energy can be saved. In addition, if you put a bottle full of water in the cistern, less water will be used every time it needs to be refilled. An old mantra I like regarding the toilet use is, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. So there you have it. Just a simple example of some small things that we can all do that will help halt the rate at which our Earth is dying and hopefully never having this picture becoming a reality. Thank you for listening.